Welcome back to Grade 4 Go Math. This is Go Math Grade 4 Unit 2, Multiply by one digit, Lesson 2.3, Multiply tens, hundreds, and thousands. Okay, boys and girls, let's go ahead and begin Lesson 2.3, Multiply tens, hundreds, and thousands. Our essential question is, how does understanding place value help you multiply tens, hundreds, and thousands? Let's unlock the problem. Each car on a train has 200 seats. How many seats are on a train with 8 cars? All right, let's ask ourselves, what's the important information in this question? Well, how many cars long is the train? And it says it is 8 cars long. I'm going to circle that. How many seats are in each car? There are 200 seats. So there's your important information. Now it's asking you to find 8 times 200 to find out how many seats are on a train with 8 cars. So I want you to look at this model right here, this quick draw. And I want you to ask yourself, what do you think each square represents? What do you think each one of these squares represents? Well, each square is 100. And we circled 10 hundreds, which equals 1,000. So 10 hundreds equal 1,000. Now, I want you to ask yourself, how do the squares show 8 times 200? Well, there are 8 rows, 7, 8, and each row shows 2 squares, 100, 200, 100, 200, 100, 200. Do you see that? So, what this model is showing us is it shows 8 groups of 200, or 8 times 200. So, let's think. We have 1,000 here, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. 1,000 here. We have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and 600 here. So we have 1,000 and 600. So if we add 1,000 plus 600, we have 1,600. Now, there's another way to use place value. We can say 8 times 200 equals 8 times 200s. I'm sorry, that 2 should be there, which equals 1,600s, which equals 1,600. So there are 1,600 seats on a train with 8 cars. All right, now it says, look for a pattern. How can finding 8 times 2 help you find 8 times 200? Well, I can solve the basic fact of 8 times 2, then write the number of zeros from the greater number. So I can solve 8 times 2, which is 16, add those 2 zeros, and get 1,600. Let's look at this page, other ways. This time we're going to multiply by using a number line, okay? It says, Bob's sled shop rents 4,000 sleds each month. How many sleds does the store rent in 6 months? Well, the problem would be 6 times 4,000. Okay, multiplication can be thought of as repeated addition, and you can draw jumps to show the product. Well, let's first look at the basic fact. It says 6 times 4,000. The basic fact would be 6 times 4. That's your basic fact. And the number line shows 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. And all they're doing is skipping and adding by 4. Okay? 6 times 4 is 24. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Now, each of these number lines, what's happening there is each number line is 10 times greater. So I'm going to add a 0 to the 40. 6 times 40, because 40 is 10 times greater than 4. All right, so now I'm going to skip jump by 40. 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, 240. Look at that. 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, 240. So 6 times 40 is 240. Now let's look at the next one. 6 times 400 equals 2,400. That is 10 times more than 6 times 40. So we would say 400, 800, 1,200, 1,600, 2,000, 2,400. Now, 6 times 4,000 is 10 times more than 6 times 400. 6 times 4,000 is 24,000. Let's look at that. 4,000, 8,000, 12,000, 16,000, 20,000, 24,000. So, how did the numbers on the number lines change from one line to the next? What did we say? What did we say? How did the numbers change from one line to the next? Well, each number line is 10 times greater than the line above it. So this is 10 times greater than that. This is 10 times greater than that. And this is 10 times greater than that. All right. So how does the last number line show 6 times 4,000? How does this number line show 6 times 4,000? How many jumps do we have? We have 6 jumps, and each jump is by how many? Is by 4,000. Very good. All right, so Bob's sled shop rents 24,000 sleds in 6 months. All right, let's use the pattern for the basic fact. 3 times 7 equals 21. That's the basic fact. Now, let's multiply 3 times 70. That would be 210. 3 times 700, 2,100. 3 times 7,000, 21,000. All we're doing is taking the basic fact and adding the number of zeros from the larger number. So 3 times 7,000 would be 21, right here, adding 3 zeros. All right, it says basic fact with a 0. Watch this, it's a little bit different. 8 times 5 equals 40. That's the basic fact. 8 times 50 is 400. Now, why are there 2 zeros there when there's only 1 0 here? That's because the basic fact ends in a 0. So 8 times 500 would be 4,000. There's 3 zeros, but remember 8 times 5 is 40, and add the 2 zeros from the 500. 8 times 5,000 is 40,000. Remember, 8 times 5 is 40, is that 40? Then we add the 3 zeros. All right. Let's look at the last one. It says, how does the number of zeros in the product 8 times 5,000 compare to the number of zeros in the factors? And then it says explain. Well, there are 4 zeros in the product and only 3 zeros in the factors because there is a 0 in the basic fact of 8 times 40. All right, and as the number of zeros in a factor increases, the number of zeros in the product increases. All right, boys and girls, it says use the drawing to find 2 times 500. Well, look for structure to tell how you would use place value to find 2 times 500. I can think of 2 times 500 as 2 times 5 hundredths, which equals 10 hundredths, which equals 1,000. Okay, so 2 times 500 is 1,000. Now, using this drawing, I can go like this. I need 2 groups of 500. So I'm thinking each one of these squares is 100. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. All right. So I can say 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and there's one group of 500. Now I can say 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Here is 2 groups of 500. Now there's another way. I don't have to use the drawing to figure out what is 2 times 500. I simply can say 2 times 5 is 10, add the 2,000 or the 2 zeros and get 1,000. All right. All right. It says complete the pattern. 3 times 8 equals 24. 3 times 80 is 240. 3 times 800 is 2,400. 3 times 8,000 is 24,000. Adding those zeros to the basic fact. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 20 is 120. 6 times 200 is 1,200. And 6 times 2,000 is 12,000. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 50 is 200. 4 times 500 is 2,000. And 4 times 5,000 is 20,000. All right, it says find the product. 6 times 500 equals 6 times 500ths. And 6 times 500ths is 30 hundredths. And 30 hundredths equals 3,000. 9 times 5,000 equals 9 times 5 hundredths. I'm sorry, 9 times 5 thousandths. 9 times 5 thousandths equals 45 thousandths, which equals 45,000. All right, boys and girls, I want you to pause the video and do 7 through 13 on your own. And when you have finished, start the video up on the next slide and we'll check them. Boys and girls, those of you in my class, if you had any problem with any of these answers, you need to contact me so we can meet individually to see what's going on. All right. It says find the product. 7 times 6,000 is 42,000. 7 times 6 is 42. Add the 3 zeros, 42,000. 4 times 80 equals 320. 4 times 8 is 32. Add that 0, 320. 3 times 500 equals 1,500. 3 times 5 is 15. Add those 2 zeros, 1,500. Use reasoning. Fill in the missing factor. What number times 9 equals 63? Let me go over this again. What number times 9,000 equals 63,000? Well, what number times 9 equals 63? 7. So 7 times 9,000 would equal 63,000. So now 7 times what number equals 56,000? Well, 7 times 8 equals 56. So 7 times 8,000 would be 56,000. 8 times what number equals 32? 8 times 4. So 8 times 400 is 3,200. All right, 13. How does the number of zeros in the product of 8 times 5,000 compare to the number of zeros in the factors? Explain. Well, there are 4 zeros in the product. 8 times 5,000 is 40,000. There's 4 zeros in that product, but there's only 3 zeros in the factor of 5,000. Well, the extra 0 is because the basic fact is 8 times 5, which equals 40. All right, I want you to do 14, 15, and 16 on your own. Pause the video when you have finished. Restart the video and we will check your answers. Right, boys and girls, in my class, if you have missed any of these problems, you need to contact me so that we can go over and see what's going on. All right, unlock the problem. Joe's Fun & Son rents beach chairs. The store rented 300 beach chairs each month in April and in May. The store rented 600 beach chairs each month from June through September. How many beach chairs did the store rent during the 6 months? Well, what do you need to know? I need to know the total number of beach chairs rented during the 6 months. B, how will you find the number of chairs? I will multiply 2 times 300 and 4 times 600. Well, how do we get that? 2 times 300. Well, in April and May, they rented 300. All right. June, July, August, and September is those 4 months, and they rented 600. All right, so I'm going to multiply 2 times 300 and 4 times 600. Then I'm going to add those products. So it says show the steps. 2 times 300 equals 600. 4 times 600 is 2,400. 600 plus 2,400 equals 3,000. Complete the sentence. For April and May, the total number of 600 beach chairs were rented. For June through September, the total number of 2,400 beach chairs were rented. Joe's Fun & Son rented 3,000 beach chairs during the 6 months. I hope you got that right, boys and girls. All right. It says, Mariah makes bead necklaces. Beads are packaged in bags of 50 and bags of 200. Mariah bought 4 bags of 50 and 3 bags of 200 beads. How many beads did Mariah buy? And she bought 800 beads. All right, let's look at 16. It says, Carmen has 3 books of 20 stamps and 5 books of 10 stamps. How many stamps does Carmen have? Complete the equation using the numbers on the tiles. So, she had 3 books of 20 plus 5 books of 10. So 3 times 20 equals what? 60. 5 times 10 is what? 50. So 60 plus 50 equals 110. Okay, boys and girls, it's that time for you to do your independent practice and homework for lesson 2.3, my class. Make sure that you do page What are these 2 pages here? 79 and 80, take a snapshot of it, send it to me, and I will grade it. So this is 79, do 79. This is page 80, my class, again. This goes in the grade book. Take a snapshot of it. As soon as you're done, send it to me. I'll grade it. If you did horribly on it, I'll be calling you and saying, we got to meet to figure out what's going on. If you did great on it, you're going to get a good grade in the grade book. So get these done, take the snapshot, and send it to me. That's the end of lesson 2.3. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Awesome Possum Classroom 451. If you would like these worksheets, email me at awesomepossumclassroom@gmail.com. I'll send you the link. Have a great day. Bye-bye.